Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late March 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as usual and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Geminis. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Talk to me, my guides. Let's shuffle it up one time. See what we got here. And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's go. Let's get this moving for Gemini, please, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for Gemini? Okay, thank you. So yeah, this card is absolutely looking into the past, and I haven't seen him in quite a while. So it doesn't have to be your energy, but this is somebody reminiscing quite a bit. So we'll talk about him. Interesting. I always like his hairdo, right? But before we fully peel back the layers on that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button, but tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Have a look at our friend here with that awesome hairdo. Always reminds me of the cartoon Hey Arnold a little bit, but that's besides the point. When we see this guy, notice he is watching that film. Now, for some of you that aren't familiar with this deck, this film that he's looking at is another image from within the deck. Both of them are looking behind them, looking into the past. So when I see this, I think very Six of Cups type of energy. History, people that we have long connections with, looking back and reminiscing on the past for whatever reason, whether that's for good, bad, or indifferent reasons. So big vibe here. Also, the fact that he's looking at a literal film. For some of you, you might be in that mode where you're watching lots of movies and media and stuff like that. That's just a little sub piece there. But there's a big link to the past with that card. Let's get into tarot. And as I always say, that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright before we get the intuitive, juicy stuff flowing. Talk to me, my guide. Shuffle it up for Gemini, please. What do we got late March? So, last week's reading, it felt very apologetic. It was titled simply, They Are Sorry. And it felt like there was somebody that was feeling bad for something that they might have done. There was just this energy of somebody wanting to mend a bridge or somebody feeling very apologetic. So we're going to see what energy pops up this week. And I will say this, Gemini, for like the past month or so, there's been a lot of challenges in a Gemini reading. So hopefully things haven't been too rough for you. We're going to hope for some positivity, though, some optimism. Let's get you 3. What do we got for Gemini here, my gods? As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your energy, we could be seeing somebody else's. All right. So here's some of that speed. We have a little communication showing up here, which is another theme I've been seeing in your readings. But we are starting off with a bang here with the 8 of Wands in position number 1. Let's get you 2 more, actually. What do we got for Gemini? That is a very fiery type of energy. Yeah, 9 of Swords. I've been seeing that through a lot of the signs this week. Even last week, too. This is a stressed out, nervous type of energy. We have the fire-air combination. Let's get one more. One more for Gemini. Thank you. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups. So we're really going to want to clarify these, Gemini. And once again, this doesn't just have to be your energy. This could be people around you as well. But let's get through it. Let me just straighten these out. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get the juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, when I look down at this, we have an interesting mixture of elements. We have fire, we have air, we have water showing up. Usually when we combine these two, the fire and air, it could be a little volatile. High numbered for the most part, but there could be a lot happening. It's giving me a hectic type of vibe, similar to like what I said the past few weeks, a lot of up and down. But position number 1, we have the 8 of Wands. One of the bigger cards of communication, messages, talks. If it's not that, this is moving forward very quickly, like moving towards the future. Just keep it moving, keep it pushing. This is fiery action. Okay, it is one of the fastest moving cards, so this could represent change, whether drastic change or quick change. So we really want to clarify this to see what it's about. But we are literally starting off with a bang. Now, I will say this, I don't want to get too intuitive just yet, but with this fast action, then this nervousness, then this sadness on the back end, once again, the apologetic or regretful type of energy is already showing up before we clarify. But we have the 9 of Swords in the center. I would say this is stressed out. This is spirit highlighting your sleep, your rest, your recuperation. You might be having issues in the night, right? A little insomnia. You might be having rough dreams, things like that. But when I see the Nine of Swords, it is somebody who is wound tight, either anxious or nervous, that a lot on their mind, right? And that's what I was feeling here a little bit. This Nine of Swords is also connected to the paranormal. So whenever I see this card, I say, hey, you might be having more paranormal experiences than you normally do, specifically if you're an energy sensitive type of individual. But with the way this energy is flowing, it's like action, consequence, result, action, consequence, result. So in this time, like, try not to be too spontaneous. I would say that. Before we even clarify, I'm going to say that. So we'll put this Nine of Swords here and make sure you're getting proper rest. Now, as we get to the back end of this spread, we have the Five of Cups, the River of Tears card, which a lot of readers call it that. It's somebody who's upset. You can literally see it with the imagery. You see this person, they're crying over those spilled cups. So I say in this time, and it is on a scale, but this is a card of pain, possible loss, because this person is looking at the cups that have spilled, not the ones that they still have. So in this time, especially with the past, thinking like hopefully the past isn't coming back around and bothering you, but this is somebody that could be hurting, and we're getting like mentally and emotionally, and that feeling of regret is still standing strong. And I saw that in some other signs this week, that there could be a lot of people that like regret an action they've made, regret something that they might have done. But this is sad. Now, when we get to the clarifiers, that could really switch things up for us, because if these are energies that you've been working on or you've moved through, the clarifiers could really switch it up. But let's dive deeper on all of it, Gemini. Let's jump in and clarify. And once again, this could be other people. Always keep that in mind. But let's shuffle it up one time, see what we have for you. Talk to me. What do we got, my guides? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on that Eight of Wands? And if you're a tarot reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why this box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. You won't be stepping on my toes. Okay, Eight of Wands. Why is this Eight of Wands here? What's this action about? Yeah, big shakeup. All right, this does feel like some like massive or drastic type of change here. Okay, or somebody that made a very spontaneous action. They just did something without fully thinking it through. So in this time, I do feel like this could be a warning from Spirit, like certain situations or issues might pop up that would make you act differently than you normally would, or they might make you act in a way that you don't normally do when we see this Four of Wands in reverse. Because usually this is a card, the 1111 card, it's a card of omens, signs, synchronicities. When it shows up in reverse, once again, this is usually a card of celebration. It could be a card of pain in reverse, but upheaval, because this is a usually very sturdy, stable type of card. So when I see the Eight of Wands clarified by this in reverse, it's someone possibly doing something without fully thinking it through. If it's not that, like I said, either massive or drastic change, and the rest of this reading will really tell us the tale on what the fallout might be, or how comfortable or uncomfortable these changes might be. But keep your eyes open for signs and synchronicities from Spirit as well, especially when the Four of Wands shows up, because even in reverse, that could be a card of blessings. Let's see how the rest of this reading plays out. I'm going to go in on that Nine of Swords now. We don't want to over-conflate the messages or make the waters all mucky here. Let's see what's up with that Nine of Swords. Why is that Nine of Swords here? Thank you. Yeah, just got to stay busy. You got to keep working at something. This could be a work in progress in a big way underneath this Nine of Swords. There might be a process or a progress that it's not simple, it's not easy, and it's taken more work than you thought it would. Okay, so you might be involved in different things that are taking way more effort or much more effort than you thought it would. Okay, also the fact that we have repeating eights now, along with the number signs, the omens, the synchronicities, like Spirit might be screaming at you like, hey, look over here, look at me. So keep your eyes open for the powerful omens from Spirit, whether it is through dreams. This could be saying through dreams, especially since the eights are surrounding that Nine of Swords. But this is usually a card of dedication and work. So when I see it under the Nine of Swords, like, yeah, I get the vibe of someone biting off a little more than they can chew, or something that is just way more work than envisioned. Like, all right, I thought this was going to be a lot easier. Like, that's the vibe I'm picking up here. Like, there is much more involved in this than I had imagined. So I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go in on the Five of Cups, then we'll do a recap before we get into the shadow card. Because, yeah, maybe it is a change that you thought might be good, but in reality, it's a little more than you thought it would be. But let's see what's up with that Five of Cups. Then we'll do our recap. And lots of stuff going on here, Gemini. Why is that Five of Cups here? Thank you. Strength card. And yeah, whatever changes or things you're going through, you will get through it at the end of the day. Because like I said up here in the beginning, this could be the change, the shift, the things happening. Strength in the upright under the Five of Cups. Like, it's one of two things. Either if you are going through a tough time, a time of sadness, a trying time, you will and can get through it. For a portion of you, that could be a connection with a Leo. That might be a little painful for whatever reason. Or a Leo that's hurting. But when I see strength, it's that inner strength within, right? It's that strength of character, determination. Also, to mention, this is card number 8. So we have 888. We have the 1111 card. Huge signs all over this place. If you want to look into the numerology or the angel numbers, please feel free to do it. But I feel like this does fit a little bit like a cohesive story. Now, there is pain here on the back end. There is hurt, sadness. Could be something very minor. It could be major. Everything will be okay. That's what the ending of this spread says. Like, listen, even if it's not comfortable, even if it's not ideal, everything will be fine. Even if you don't think it's going to be. Because this just feels like something ending better than you might think it's going to. Let's go through, because like I said, this is pretty much pain on the back end. I'll give you a quick little recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, repeating eights, the 1111 card, just highlighting that once again, that we have tons of number signs, synchronicities. Watch out for the omens from spirit because they might be trying to get your attention. But with this 8 of Wands and this 4 of Wands in reverse, it's either a spontaneous action, somebody doing something without thinking that could have repercussions, because I did have this energy of somebody feeling bad or possibly feeling guilty or making a mistake. But it could be a drastic change or a massive change that you're going through, whether it's a metamorphosis or something that just pops up. Because as we move over, we have the 9 of Swords with the 8 of Pentacles in the upright. Something might just be taking a lot more effort than you had originally thought it would take. Something might be a lot more work. This is somebody purposely trying to keep themselves busy as well. But notice that they're all surrounding that 9. There's a lot happening here this week, Gemini. I'll tell you that. I feel like I could read this spread for like another 15, 20 minutes with all the stuff it's making me feel. But the little energy of regret or uncomfortable change. If you're going through a process, it might not be moving to your liking for whatever reason, or it might be a little more challenging. On the very back end, we have the 5 of Cups with the Strength card. Whatever it is that you're going through, whether this reading hit, whether it didn't hit, whether you're romance, money issues, whatever it might be, you can and will get through it. You have that inner strength within you, that power. And I feel like with all these repeating numbers showing up and all these signs, you need to know that Spirit has your back. Spirit's got your back. They're with you, even if you can't see or sense it. So please take a screenshot of that, Gemini. I'm going to get you a shadow card. Interesting reading this week for sure. I mean, there are some challenges here, but that's okay, right? Life is all about the challenges. Let's get you one shadow card. I'm using the Shadowland Tarot for this portion. It's one of my favorite decks for shadow work. So let's see what we have for you. Let's get you one shadow card. Whether it's a shadow side of yourself or something you don't quite see, that card flew out quick. Okay, yeah, Page of Cups. There might be something you really need to get off your chest. There might be something you really need to talk about. I always find it interesting when we get pages in the shadows because they are usually a card of youth and children. Could be issues with a water sign as well when we have the page there. But it is one of the cards of communicating one's emotions, communicating one's feelings. So in the shadow side, maybe there's been times where you bit your tongue when you shouldn't have. But this is somebody that needs to get something off their chest emotionally. They need to have some sort of conversation to feel some semblance of peace with this. For another portion of you, if it's none of that, this could easily be something that may have happened in childhood that is still affecting you to some extent. So just take that into consideration. Spirit might be wanting you to put a highlight on that. So Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the February subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air sign readings. But for March, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls. This is a new deck and it is absolutely awesome. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments out of this week's reading, which card spoke to you the most. At the end of the month, the winners will be in the community tab once again. My friends, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.